Hello, everyone. Welcome to Listening with Your Eyes LinkedIn Live. It is Tuesday morning, and by the power of pre-recording an episode, I am coming to you at our normal 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So this has been pre-recorded. I met yesterday with Lynn Miller of Straight Talk Writer, and she is fantastic at helping you take all of the programs and content that you already have and using it to add at least one, if not multiple zeros to your bottom line. And what we're going to be talking about today is your online courses. She has a fantastic service right now where she's looking at your online content and helping you make tweaks to it so that it will sell more to your target as well as simply sell as you wished it would. Lynn is a great person to analyze why things aren't working for you. And she and I are collaborating on a webinar on the 17th of November. So for all of you tuning in, I'll go ahead and preview it here and then we'll talk about it partway through. And I will make sure that the links are connected to this video, and I'll add it to the comments and things later on. This is something that you're going to want to register for if you are thinking of redoing some courses, creating content, fixing the content that you have, or if you're concerned about the online videos that you have in your courses and maybe their level of effectiveness, because that's what we're going to be talking about in that webinar. So without further ado, I would like to get right to our interview. And the first thing that Lynn and I talked about was how she came to this niche of online courses and helping people get the most of their online courses.
What brought me to this point, Alison, is about 15, 20 years in the learning industry, selling it to large organizations. And I didn't want to do that anymore, but I knew how valuable online courses were to companies. But what I care about most is growing companies, growing entrepreneurial businesses. And I wanted to search for the best way to help them scale. And I realized that, wow, wouldn't it be great if instead of just teaching to a room, they could teach to hundreds or thousands? And what's the best way to do that? It's not a book. It's not a book. It's not speaking. It's actually a course.
Right. And do you think that's why it's kind of become a must-have in some ways for consultants? It did seem like maybe pre-pandemic, it was, oh, you've got to have the speech or the book. And it seems like during the pandemic, at least I feel like there has sort of been a shift into, well, put your content online, create a course. And that kind of has now become the, I don't know, holy grail, if you will, it seems like, for consultants.
And I really want to be careful about what I say when I mean when I say creating a course, because it's really a series of engagements and interactions where people are learning how to do things that you already know how to do, and they want to do things the way you've learned to do things. They want you to teach them to do what you know how to do. So that is just because, so here's the thing. If you want to be known for something important, the fastest way for that to happen is to teach people how to do what you know how to do.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
and so what you know is not the answer, because people create courses about what they know and they fall flat. But creating courses based on what you know how to, what you enjoy doing most and what comes most easily to you is what they really want to know how to do, because that's what makes you interesting, what makes you inspiring, and they want that.
So do you feel like there is a magic formula for making your course successful? Because it feels like there's a lot of people out there that have online courses for how to make your online course. And it's supposed to be this magic bullet that's going to make your course, make a lot of money for them. Is there really a magic formula, or is it something else?
Well, I don't think there's a magic formula. There's a lot of ways to do it, and there's a lot of methods. And I don't necessarily believe that that one method is the only right way to do it. But the thing that's most important is, are you ready to create it? Because if you don't know what it is you want people to do by the time they're finished, and how you want people to change what they do and feel differently, if you don't know the answer to those questions, and you don't have ways for them to get from point A to point B, you're not ready.
One component that I know, obviously, you and I have talked a lot about because of my body language piece of things, and we will get to our collaboration in a minute, everybody. But we talk a lot about the video parts, people putting video into their courses.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to encourage people to come across better on those videos. But,
Yeah.
Are there like types of videos for these courses that you think people need to consider, or that there are certain kind of must-haves within the course, or are there ones that people are just making huge mistakes in? What are your thoughts on the videos themselves?
I love this question because videos are really important in courses. It's important to do a certain amount of them, and it's important for them to be done in a certain way and no more than like a couple of minutes at a time. But what's most exciting and interesting to the learner is not how to. Do not do a video on how to. Step 1, step 2, don't do that. The purpose of videos, frankly, is to inspire people to take action and to motivate them to want to finish the course and to get them thinking. So the best kind of videos sometimes ask a question or two. Like, give yourself a chance to think about it, reflection. That's one way to create a video that's interesting. They're like, because then you feel, the learner feels like you guys are having a conversation. Have you ever had an experience when? Okay, another way to create a good video is certainly the introduction and get people excited and inspired to take the course in the first place. And the third reason, or the third way, is to create context. Why this matters. What would it be like if they actually did all the things that they're going to learn how to do? And the best way to create that excitement and inspiration and context is through stories. So if you can tell the story as the expert of somebody who's already done this and what happened as a result, that will make the learner say, oh, I want to try this.
Right. Well, gosh, everybody, I'm going to give you a little, that was a great preview, I guess, is the way to put it, of a webinar that Lynn and I are collaborating on. That's going to be November 17th at 12:30 Central Time. And I will make sure that in the notes and you'll see it coming up on the bottom here is the link for registering for that, because you do need to have a ticket to come to this, but we're going to go in depth on a lot of these things when it comes to the video, the type of video, and how to make those videos better. And one type of video that we haven't even mentioned yet that I know is going to be a large part of our discussion during that hour is the testimonial video, because that can really make or break a course, because people watch those testimonial videos and they decide whether to take the course, or at the end of the course, you want someone to leave a great testimonial for you somewhere, whether it's written or whether they record it. And so we're going to go a little in depth on how to get the best testimonial videos, because I think that's one of the biggest places where videos just fall flat. In fact, I spent a lot of my morning today looking at LinkedIn videos because of their LinkedIn learning. And I'm like, you know what? I pay extra for LinkedIn every month. I should look up their courses. And wow, I'm going to top of my list is to go in and connect with the people at LinkedIn and say, maybe Maybe they need a course
Really?
for all of their LinkedIn people on how to come across better on their videos, because there were a lot of mistakes that people were making, in my opinion anyway, on those videos. Either a complete talking head where they just talk like this and nothing else moves, or vocally lots of stress on strange words. It was kind of disheartening.
You can just tell. Could you just tell they were
Like,
reading a
this is
script,
LinkedIn.
Allison?
They're not helping their people do better LinkedIn, do better content. So to close here then for everybody, I wanted to leave them with, what's that number one mistake that you think creators are making when they come to their online course?
Oh, absolutely, positively. Too much content. They want to share everything they know. And we don't care. By the way, people can only handle one new piece of information, one new idea to reflect on and apply at a time. So if you have 10, then it's 10 courses, okay? Maybe it's 5 courses, but it isn't one.
Everybody, this is fantastic content, as you can tell, and Lynn really knows her stuff. So we are, once again, just put out there that November 17th is really that Wednesday. It's when you need to join us for this great content and looking to go into, if you're planning on a course to start off your 2022, now is the time to listen to Lynn, contact her, start working with her to ask she's going to ask you the right questions in order for you to be prepared for that video, to get it really in the can and out there and making money for you. That's really the crux of it. Too many of our online courses are languishing because either they're not being marketed correctly or too much content. That's my problem. I will out myself. I always did way too much content, but there's also ways to make it better, right? And so that's what you need to be thinking about, especially if you have that content out there. It might be a few tweaks. We're not talking that you have to probably start from scratch. You could probably take much of what's there, either rearrange it, add a couple of of handouts or exercises in the middle to keep people going, or the whole idea of the inspiring video, something that is going to keep them moving and get them to complete your course. So those are the kinds of things we're going to be talking about. Thanks so much, Lynn, for being a guest on the LinkedIn Live.
Can I just add one small thing?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. What is it?
If your course is not working or not selling, bring in the questions for that. Tell us about that, because more of the people that I'm working with these days have content that's selling, but they're not selling at the price they want them to, and they're not selling them as much as they want them to. So we'd rather work with something like that.
Right. Oh, and on that November 17th, if you have a video that you want us to look at, once you've registered, you can send us a short, one of your 2-minute videos, and we will do some live coaching during that time on those actual videos. So if you want some of this secret sauce for you specifically, go ahead and get registered. Depending on how many people register, we might not be able to pick them all, but we will do some so that you get personalized coaching while we're there as well. So everybody, we'll see you on the 17th. Otherwise, definitely connect with Lynn. I'll make sure all of her contact info is connected here to the videos. And let me tell you, she's a real resource that you need to know about, and you should tell your friends as well, because you all can add zeros to your business. And I know that's her tagline. What's your tagline?
I want to add a zero to your business.
There you go. So if you think that's what your online courses should be doing, that they should be adding zeros to your bottom line, and they're not doing that, Lynn is the person to talk to. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you next week for Listen with Your Eyes LinkedIn Live.